Welcome into another edition of The Session with Londa and David. My name is David Austin.
Ooh, a little sauce on that. This fine sunny day. I'm Londa Sherwood Austin. Welcome back.
This is the post-Labor Day edition of The Session with Londa and David. And I got to tell you, The Session is a business program that focuses on three things that are acutely important to us. What are they, Londa?
Restaurants, real estate, and retail sales.
That's exactly right. And why are they so important? Why is it such a...
They make the world go round.
Okay, tell me more on that. Expand on that.
Well, I don't know that I need to. Everybody gets it, right? I mean, it's restaurants. Yep. Real
Everybody's
estate.
got to eat.
Retail sales. Our background is in all three of those things.
That's exactly right.
So here we are. This is kind of what we talk about, although... Honestly, we talk about a lot of different things here, but, that's kind of our guiding light, as it were.
In this episode, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. Number one, new studio. Who dis?
Yeah, we're working on a new studio. You'll see more changes as we go along, I'm sure. But yeah, welcome to the new studio. What do you think?
And in this particular episode, we're not going to do anything on the actual computer. And we've kind of stayed away from that for the past few shows.
Okay.
Only because we need to get used to the studio and how it looks before we start adding other elements back in.
Yes.
I think that's smart. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
We're hitting the ground kind of jogging. We're not in a full-out sprint.
Yeah. Yeah. And you might ask... Why do you have a new studio? Because we want to.
That's exactly right. It's that simple.
I told someone recently that we've made a few changes, business changes recently, and people have asked like, "Oh, why did you do that? Why did you do that?" And I was trying to, give them reasoning and whatever, and I just decided over this weekend because I want to.
Right.
Because it serves me and it pleases me, and that's it. Nothing else matters.
And let me tell you something. We had a meeting yesterday with some lovely business people that we've known for years and years and years, and their level of stress is ultra high. And we don't have ultra high stress, and that's because we've learned over the last 3 years of doing this program and living life together that you're not stuck. No matter what your situation is, there is a trapdoor to get you out of it, no matter what it is.
Yeah, there's no reason to be stressed out really long term.
Right.
Obviously, life gets stressful and everything, but I think it's, honestly, I do think it's my age. I made a TikTok the other day that was like, I'm a woman in my 50s. I do things differently now. I look at life differently. I do things because they please me, because they serve me. And so don't ask me why I do it. It pleases me. That's all, And so I wish in some ways I could have grasped that idea at a younger age.
Sure.
But at the same time, I'm like just really happy to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Not trying to prove anything, not striving toward anything, just doing my thing. And I think that's really attractive to people from what I understand. The good news is I don't care. I don't know how many times last night in the conversation that we had with our friends who are business people who are under a tremendous amount of stress, more stress than I've ever probably seen any business person ever in my whole life.
Right.
I don't know how many times I said, I don't care about that at all.
Yeah.
That's got nothing to do with me.
Right.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care.
The simple fact is, no matter how rough things are in your life, and before you say this sounds great for you, just listen to what I'm saying.
All right.
No matter how tough things get in your life, you've only got one life. So you need to choose to see past the situation that you're in. Mm-hmm. And you could even hearken back to the scariest thing, the freakiest thing, the worst thing that's ever happened to you, and compare that to today. Mm-hmm. Things get better. Nothing stays the same.
A lot of it has to do with programming your brain.
Right.
Right. And I think that having the freedom to just pull the plug on things that don't serve me anymore has been huge, without fear. And a lot of that has come from the last 5 years of us being together,
Right.
just learning to do things for me, right? Which is a learned skill sometimes, especially if you grew up like I did.
Right.
You're a people pleaser and you hustle for your worthiness and you are always trying to achieve for approval, right? And to come out of that into a whole different place in life is really freeing. And so, I don't know what else I was going to say about that, except that I just think it's a magical time to be me. I hope everyone can be in that place where they can find the who cares button.
Well, that's an important thing, right? Because if in business, let's turn this back to business.
Okay.
If you're tied too closely to the outcome of whatever business thing you're doing, you will seem more desperate than if you're tied to the experience for your customer.
Well, ninja selling is a great example of that. And if you're not familiar with that, go visit ninjaselling.com. You can find out all about it. Wow.
What had happened was...
There's only coffee in this, I swear. You can find all about it.
I like it when you're funny on the show.
Ninjaselling.com, but that's the philosophy of ninja selling.
Right
there. You just summed it up. Like, don't be attached to the outcome. And it's hard depending on your upbringing, depending on your life, but God damn it, there's therapy.
Right. Absolutely.
There's nothing that you will ever do in your life that is better than investing in therapy. I promise you. And if you have TikTok, you almost don't need to pay for a therapist anymore. And hear me out before you
cancel your sessions.
If you can get on Therapy Talk, super helpful.
There's some good stuff on there.
Oh man, yeah.
I like that very warm young man from Spokane. Do you remember his name?
Mateus.
Listening to him feels so safe.
Yeah.
And so comforting.
He's great.
Yeah.
I love him. And I've done a couple of his workshops. That's the thing. When, YouTube or TikTok, you can find therapists. You can find just about any kind of help you need. You don't have to escape from your life. You don't have to just crush yourself into oblivion and put yourself in an early grave.
Right.
There's actually a lot of help out there. In fact, today, more than ever, and any time in history, we have more resources available than ever before. I just talked to a mom this morning who her kids started school today, and she's so excited. They've homeschooled previously, and they're young. They're still in elementary school, but single mom, 3 kids, building an empire, running a successful business, really needs those kids to get in school now, you know? And we were talking about, all of a sudden, she's realizing all the resources available to her through the public school system where she lives. And when she took them to school this morning, was talking with the principal and the counselor and different things, because she's got kids that are in tracking on particular programs, And so talking with those people, they were explaining to her all these things available, and she was kind of blown away. She's like, I didn't even know this was here. She's been struggling for years with her kids, and all of a sudden, in one conversation that we had, she was like, because I said, have you ever thought about all the resources available through the public school system? And she's like, what do you mean? And and I didn't really know. I was like, but they have, like, it's a short track to psychological evaluation, learning style comprehension. If your kid needs a full-time aide with them, the public school provides it. Like, it's so, she's very excited about that, but it took her a while to get there. And it's okay if it takes you a while to come to your revelation, but get there. Right? Oh, speaking of revelation, I just saw something interesting recently from a business person that I follow on TikTok. And she was talking about your morning evolution.
Okay, tell me about that.
Wait, what?
What is a morning evolution?
So I have always called it a morning routine.
Okay.
And she's talking about I get up in the morning, I do this, I do that, I do this, I do that, just kind of walking through her. And she's pretty hardcore, right? So she does the cold plunge and then she goes to the, gym for an hour and then she does the sauna and all this stuff that high achievers tend to do, right? I'm a mid achiever, mid at best achiever. So, but these, high level executive, high achiever kind of people that you see in the spotlight a lot often do these kind of things. But she said, and sometimes it takes me, 2 or 3 hours to get through this evolution to set up my day. And I thought, well, that's a way I've never thought about it before. Mm-hmm. It's not just a morning routine. It's an evolution. Ooh. I don't know why it hit me.
It's interesting
strongly.
Because it invokes pictures in my mind of the chart of evolution where you've got a gorilla and then you've got Australopithecine man and then Neanderthal and then it comes all the way to Homo sapien sapien. It reminds me of that because you get out of bed, you're all hunched over, you can barely see.
Well,
you know what I mean?
At our advanced age.
And you evolve into the fully formed person that you are by the time you walk out the door.
Right.
That's kind of an interesting mind picture for me.
And the way that you choose to set up your day, the way that you that evolution that you choose to go through can look a lot of different ways.
It's interesting for me because I actually sleep in a chrysalis. So when I wake up in the morning, full wings and I'm running, I'm flying right away.
Right away. Instantly. You kind of do come out of bed flying high, but oh my gosh.
Can you picture me in a little chrysalis?
Yes.
Hanging there from like a windowsill? I don't know.
Excuse me.
That's okay.
Labor Day weekend.
Yes. Awesome time.
So you may have gone to the beach. You may have gone boating. You may have slept in. You may have played in the sunshine. You may have, I don't know what you did, but we worked and played and traveled. And I mean, we could not have fit more into the weekend.
That's true.
It was wild.
Yep.
Wild. So I want to talk a little bit about our weekend because I want to talk about being open to opportunity.
Okay. I like it.
So last Monday morning, we're in a new space. We're a new kind of fresh start, refocusing our lives a little bit. Right. I finally started listening to my business coach. And so here we are. And last Monday morning, I said, okay, here is the Ninja selling system.
Right.
Monday morning agenda, blah, 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 and we started walking through it. And last week was our first full week together in our business working the Ninja system.
Right.
Okay.
That's exactly right.
And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, not really out of nowhere, business starts coming to us, right? And it has a lot to do with the reticular activating system, programming your hard drive.
That's right.
For business, for opportunity. Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you, Friday, we got a phone call and to meet somebody at the farmer's market.
Right.
In Richland, Washington. Boom. We jumped out of our seats, went and met them. Business came to us.
Yes.
We got invited to an impromptu dinner that night. We sit down, we're eating dinner. They brought up real estate.
Yep.
Business came to us.
Right.
Saturday, we had showings all day long, wrote an offer, got an offer accepted, focused on that. Sunday, we go to a wedding. Mm-hmm. People talk to us about business. 2 different people at the wedding came up to us and said, hey, need to get with you guys. We're looking to buy.
Right.
Or sell.
That's exactly right.
Buy and sell. Monday, trying to remember what we did.
I got another
the dinner with the
oh yeah, with the other business people.
Which always turns into more business, right?
And I got another purchase and sale for the lending side of Sherwood Austin Real Estate Solutions, which is great through Red Mountain Mortgage.
Yep.
And we did not stop, really.
And beautifully culturally diverse weekend.
Absolutely.
We had so much fun. You guys, one of these clients of ours, they're clients and friends, are Indian.
Right.
And they invited us.
Eastern Indian.
Yeah, Eastern Indian. And invited us back to their house after their showings to have tea.
Lovely.
Let me tell you.
Lipton's got nothing on this tea.
So delicious. But what was fascinating is I got to ask them about their upbringing.
Right.
And they talked about growing up in these really small villages that didn't even have schooling and whatever. And now, he's a PhD.
Right.
Crazy. So love that. I loved getting to know them. And then we went to this wedding, and it was a Lebanese family. And so there were this, at the dancing after the wedding at the reception was a lot of Arab music. So we learned some
really
new
cool
dances.
Yep.
Yeah.
The hand stuff that the women do, very
Yeah.
sexy motion. Very nice.
Yeah.
I hope you studied that because I really like it.
It was.
And I'm hoping you incorporate that into more of our stuff.
Well, here's what I learned going to that wedding. I can no longer drop it low. I can go, as it were, part way to the flow.
Drop it low, halfway to the flow.
Halfway to the flow. Yeah. And so.
Drop it middle of the road.
Yeah.
Halfway to the floor.
Yes. So, and then the next Monday, we went and did a little bit of shopping in the morning, and I thought, man, my legs aren't even sore from all that dancing last night until we went up a flight of stairs.
And then,
I thought,
there it is.
Oh, there it is. But all I'm saying is, we have designed this life, right? And you can too. That's really what I'm trying to say.
Sure. And speaking of shopping, this is the retail review nobody asked for.
Okay.
We went to Nordstrom Rack's Clear the Rack sale in Spokane at the Northwest Valley Mall, or what it's Spokane Valley Mall, whatever it's called. And not good.
No, it was not good.
No
Which one of your little
bueno.
things is?
I don't know. Let's see if I can find it.
Well, it'd be fun to just hear a few while you're trying.
I'm just looking. I think it's.
You
I'm
gotta
not wearing
listen.
my headphones. That's it. That's the sad
You
trombone.
got it. Yeah, if you're looking for clothes that look like they were worn by people who live in the streets and roll around in the streets.
You don't have to stand in front of Winco anymore to get that apparel.
And then they went back on hangers and it's just the clothes that were, and maybe, okay, not all of it was, but a lot of it was like pilled and
Sure.
and pulls and
It's interesting to note what's happening with retail right now, because if you walk into any large box retailer other than Costco, it looks like there's missing inventory. I walked into Best Buy today.
Walmart, I would say, too, is an exception.
Yes. I walked into Best Buy today to buy a new tripod for one of our cameras.
For that camera.
That one. And I got news for you. It looks like a third of the store has been taken out overnight, and they don't know what to do with it. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't understand it. It looks like Circuit City did right before Circuit City pulled the plug. And I'm not saying that's going to happen to Best Buy, but it did not look good.
Yeah.
It didn't look good for Best Buy. Anyway, also, we went to a major mall, the Spokane Valley Mall, on Monday, Labor Day. It looked to me half empty. The stores were half empty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's because they were.
Everything dark and a few open stores.
And what did we do? We went looking for, listen, it's not complicated, a simple thing. I was looking specifically for two things. I'll just focus on one here. Black V-neck T-shirts for him. Easy. Couldn't find them.
Right.
Couldn't find them anywhere in
You know
any
where
of the
you
stores.
could find them?
I know where I did find them. Online.
Online. What the heck? What the heck, people? What's going on?
Well, it's a shift in the economy, right? It's a shift in the world. And frankly, going online, click add to cart.
Yeah.
Nothing's easier. I don't like that you can't try it on.
Right.
But that's...
With Prime returns
this
are
is
free.
why I've always loved thrifting anyway, but now even more so I love thrift stores because I love an upscale thrift store like my friend Kershella. Kershella Smith has a beautiful, beautiful, very upscale thrift store called Lady Godiva's in Yakima, Washington. And gorgeous girls, if you are in Eastern Washington and you are looking for upscale, high end,
name brand,
labels,
designer labels,
Prada, Louis Vuitton, that kind of status up there. Then Lady Godiva's in Yakima, Washington is where you need to go. But I would much rather go there.
Yeah.
Anymore than to try to go to like Nordstrom Rack or whatever. But if you do have to go to a Nordstrom Rack and you're in Eastern Washington, Yakima's is way better than Spokane. Sad to say.
I gotcha. Okay. Here's the restaurant review nobody asked for.
Good. I was hoping we'd get to that.
Oh, what do you have in mind?
I have one.
I have one. You go first.
No, you go first.
Oh, well, I want to talk about how service to me is more important than food quality. And the reason I want to talk about that... I
disagree. We're fighting now.
The reason I want to talk about that is because we went to the Epic Sports Bar for breakfast yesterday at the Northern Quest Casino.
And Resort.
And the kid who was our server, very friendly, scripted things to say. Everything was exactly as ordered by the playbook at the casino, I think. Every word he used had a very specific psychological meaning.
Sure.
Everything he said was dialed in.
Yeah.
The food got to us.
Just okay.
Just okay. In fact, you had a food temp problem with the hash browns. The omelet that I ordered had all the meats. Let me tell you, zesty sausage, not for me. I don't know what was in it. It could have been sage. It could have been cloves from a Thanksgiving Day meal. I mean, it tasted disgusting. However, that was just one of the 4 or 5 meats in the thing. And the kid was so good and so friendly and so professional, I didn't want to complain, and I didn't.
And you know what else was great about it is the interaction between coworkers.
Right.
They were very... very kind and thoughtful and specific and professional with one another, I thought, too, which you don't often hear.
So linguiça or linguica sausage, no thank you, not for me. But everything else about it was delightful because of the level of service he provided.
Sure.
I thought the meal was adequate. I will go back, however, because the service was spectacular.
Well, I've never been there before.
Right.
And so... I actually have been there once for a lunch appointment at the Epic.
Oh, you went to the
bar.
sports bar.
Yeah.
Okay.
But outside of that, never been to the resort or casino. And we decided we need to come up here for a weekend.
Sure.
And like hang out because they have an arcade and they have shows, and we're not big gamblers, but the shows and the arcade and all the stuff that they have, the spa.
Delightful.
We didn't even get to use the whirlpool. I really wanted to, but anyway, so that will be fun.
Lovely.
To do that. But my restaurant review that no one asked for is local to where we live, Kennewick, Washington, which is just right next door to Richland,
Exciting.
Washington. Andy's Coffee Break.
Okay.
So it's on Columbia Center Boulevard. If you're from here, you used to know Andy's. Then you knew Andy's North and Andy's South. And then now you have Andy's Coffee Break in Kennewick.
Right.
So it's been around for years and years. There was a little split, so that's why there were 2 for a while.
Right.
Now we're
and they
over
were right across the street from one
Yeah.
another.
So anyway, Andy's Coffee Break is in the old Sherry's.
Right.
And here's what I have to say about that. Only go for breakfast.
I don't disagree.
Only go for breakfast. The service, pretty okay. The food, exactly what you want for diner breakfast food, I will say. And pretty affordable. Split the meal because they're massive portions. And
what was that you ordered? It was like a country fried steak bucket. I don't know what it was.
I don't know.
But
I don't
it was
remember.
a trough of country fried steak, eggs, biscuits, and gravy, and some cheese. What was it called?
I don't know.
You don't need to also separately have your spouse order the country fried steak breakfast because no cheese on that, FYI, but the same food, just in a different order. So I prefer the trough of breakfast country fried steak to the actual country fried steak.
Prefer the what?
The trough of country fried. However you say it, whatever pigs eat out of, the slop comes in it. Is it a trough or a trough? I don't know.
Trough.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe I have a lisp. I don't know. I haven't read books about it. Nope, I don't hang out at pig farms. I don't know it for sure. What I do know is this. The country fried steak bucket product, way, way better because it adds cheese.
Yeah. So that's my recommendation. Only go for breakfast. Their pies are not made in-house anymore. So
and share it.
Don't
it
even
with
bother.
Someone you love.
If
don't
you're gonna,
try to eat it yourself.
If you're going to get pie from Andy's Coffee Break, don't. Go to Walmart and get the ready-made pie. It's the same thing, I'm pretty sure.
Ooh, okay. All right.
Or make it yourself,
or
whatever.
Go to Costco and get one of those giant pumpkin pies.
Nobody needs that.
Let me tell you something. Everybody needs one for the holidays because you can get 79 slices out of that giant thing.
Is anyone dying from allergies? Is it just me?
Oh, it's allergy season. It's the allergy season. Loop-de-loop.
Clickety-clack.
Okay. I think this has been a fun episode. New studio, who dis?
Yeah.
And
keep coming back though, because you're going to see some changes as we go along.
Maybe neon lights. I'm not saying
we don't know about
we're doing
maybe
that,
a neon sign in the
we
corner.
don't know. We don't know.
We don't know.
The session with Londa and David will be on those lights somewhere, sometime soon.
Yep. We really appreciate you being here, listening in, watching. We know more of you are watching now than listening.
That's the key. That's the magic.
I hope you
our
like
numbers
this dress.
have crisscrossed. So there you go. Watching the program is a lot of fun. I have friends who don't watch it, who just listen, and they're all old guys like me. Every single old guy like me listens and doesn't watch.
Interesting.
Yeah, right? Every single one. And
we love it.
Last week, you were saying something very serious about tomorrow, things will get better. And one of our listeners said, I couldn't believe you didn't belt out tomorrow at that moment. And I listened to the clip today that he was talking about. It would have been wholly inappropriate. And then he said she was being very serious. So now I get why you didn't.
I gotcha. Well, please like, follow, and subscribe to The Session with Londa and David.
There you go. For Londa, Joanne Sherwood Austin, the prettiest girl in the world, my name is David Austin, and this has been The Session with Londa and David. We'll see you next week.